What's going on, everyone? Let's talk about my 4-year trade loss and my comeback story. So, before I go into this, I'm going to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. I screwed up a lot with finance, and this video is just for entertainment purposes. Like and subscribe to my video, and let's get into this video.
Did you know that nearly 90% day traders often lose money? Here's why. Day trading may look exciting. You buy and sell stocks every minute, chasing quick profits. But here's the truth. One bad trade can wipe out weeks of gains. On top of that, emotional decisions, constant fear, and high trading fees can eat into profits really fast. So if you're thinking about day trading, remember, fast money isn't always smart money.
Here's the content of my video, and I'm going to go over the bottomless pit, my trading nightmare beginning, the hit rock bottom, the truth about my 4-year losses, the uncover rebuilding my comeback trail, proving it's possible to even come back after a massive loss, and lessons from the ashes, your role to avoid my mistakes. So
we're doing our taxes, and last year we had $316,000 in capital losses. We were told we could only deduct $3,000 a year on our taxes.
At the end of the day, I want you to avoid these mistakes I made, because I lost thousands and thousands of dollars for some of these things I did. And I don't want you to make the same mistake. So let's talk about the bottomless pit.
We're going to, lay people off. Well, I've got this $30,000 loan against my 401k. What am I going to do? Sorry, it's not our problem. We can't help you. And it's something that you get caught in the middle where you could end up, and again, here you lost your job, and now you got to pay $30,000 in taxes plus penalties, everything else. It's a terrible situation to be in. And I tell people, do not take loans against your 401k.
My trading nightmare beginning and how it happened. I was in the military, and I just found out about 401k, about stocks, bonds, and everything like that. And I thought it was interesting to go into buying my own stocks. Well, at that time, it wasn't that. It was a little bit harder to buy stocks. And I was buying stocks and not knowing anything about them. I was just following what everyone was telling me to do. Oh, go buy this stock. Go buy these things. These is going to be the next Amazon. This is going to be the next big hit.
Everyone wants to find the next big stock before skyrockets. But how do you do it? It's not luck. It's a strategy. Look for companies that solve big problems or change the game. Think about how Amazon and Tesla started.
I kept going for those things. And I'm going to let you know how many of them paid off. 0. 0 of them paid off. So why I jumped into trading, and it was because I thought it was a get rich quick. I thought I could just trade every day, make $500, $1,000, $2,000 a day. And I didn't need to know much about it. At the end of the day, I lost money.
Warren Buffett most famously said, someone came up to him during the 2008 when the stock market went way down. They said, Mr. Buffett, you lost $10 million today on your portfolio. He said, I didn't lose anything. I didn't sell it. It went down in value, but I didn't sell it. It'll come back up. And then you'll say, Mr. Buffett, you made money. No, it just went up and down. Until I sell it, I haven't locked in the losses or the gains.
Day trading and the following the internet, listening to people, and trying to read the charts. I read almost every trading book you can think of. I was reading, how to read charts. None of that helps if you don't understand the true concept of it. Consistently investing in trustworthy and good, reliable companies is the tried and true. If you want to make a bigger return, you have to find it whenever it's undervalued or when the stock hits a terrible news, and you can get a good return that way.
Do I need this money in a year? Do I need this money in 2 years? Do I need this money in 3 years? Longer term, stock market's been the best place to be last 10 years, last 30 years, last 130 years. But if you need the money in 1 or 2 years, you shouldn't be buying stocks.
Besides that, there's almost no real way to read the stock market. It's unpredictable. During COVID time, it dropped and then it automatically came back up. And we don't know what the stock's going to do today, tomorrow. That's why
It's extremely easy to exploit a prediction when you don't set parameters. And here's what I mean. If I have you say a playing card out loud and you say the ace of spades, I could say, look, it's behind your ear. Oh, well, if you didn't say the ace of spades, I could say, oh, not the ace of spades, the seven of diamonds? Well, that's underneath the vase. Oh, not the seven of diamonds, but the queen of hearts? That's underneath my watch. The point is, if I have an out for every single playing card, it will still look like a really cool magic trick because I didn't set the parameters and I didn't define where this card would appear beforehand, so of course it looks impressive. And it's the same thing with making a prediction. Without a timeline, any prediction will eventually come true, especially if it's as vague as saying a stock will eventually go down. Of course it'll go down. That's what stocks do.
I switched from day trading to long-term investment. Now, the biggest issue I had in it was the slow bleed. The first year consisted of loss.
That is the honest truth. Trading is not for everybody, especially with people who have gambling addictions. In order to be a successful trader, you need to be emotionless. You need to have 4 or 5 rules that are met every single time you enter a trade, and it's boring as hell. Most profitable day traders will tell you it is the most boring job on planet Earth. It's just a system that they follow and they make money over time.
Just chalking it up for me learning. So very first year, it was, I make $100 here, I lose $20 here, I lose $10 here. I hit it big another time with another $100, $200, $500 one day, and then next few days I lose $1,000. That was the common trend. I kept buying and trading, selling, buy, sell, because the goal was to buy low, sell high. And it wasn't realistic because I was following Reddit. I was following stock tips from people that shouldn't give stock tips. At the end of the day, I learned my lesson. It's not the big trades that was giving me. It was slow and steadily draining my account. And the last part about this bottomless pit was the denial. The moment I realized it wasn't just bad luck, it was my systematic problem. It was a me problem. It wasn't the stock market problem. It wasn't just me getting unlucky. I had to learn to stop denying it. And at the end of the day, I had to go with a systematic trading strategy to become successful. You cannot become successful at trading stocks by randomly choosing a method every day. Now I have a systematic trading strategy and it works out for me. So the biggest thing I learned from this is my trading nightmare begins was the initial allure from reading Reddit, from the big hypes on news. The big hype is going to be the next big thing. The slow bleeding of my account and me keep saying I just bad luck, and then I kept denying it. And those are the things I'm trying to help you avoid. Now, the hitting rock bottom and the truth about my forward losses was, at the end of the day, I learned from them. And the truth about my forward loss was the accumulated shock, the hidden sacrifices, and the turning point is what I learned whenever I hit the rock bottom. So, I lost about $50,000, $60,000 in the emotional toll for the last 4 years of trading. And it wasn't my last 4 years when I originally started trading. So $50,000, $60,000, that was a lot of money in the military at the time. And I gave up on trading after that. I was like, I'm not made for it. I can't day trade. I was doing whatever I could. And I thought, you know what, this isn't just for me. People kept telling me it's a good thing, bad thing. But those 4 years were tough. I thought I did everything wrong. So I went back to work and just left everything alone. And the hidden sacrifice I had to do was, it impacted my personal life, relationship, and my mental health. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'd lost $50,000, $60,000, a lot of money at the time. And relationship wise, I didn't tell my girlfriend at the time and my wife now. And it really hurt me mentally. So that's the biggest sacrifice I had to learn. It wasn't the money, it's how it affected my personal life. Now, the turning point in my life was when I decided to change and quit doing day trading forever. I don't do day trading no more. I do long-term investment. And I want everyone to stay away from day trading and investing in stocks you don't know and following the hypes.
I think anyone starting trading is going to lose money for several years. You know, you're looking for a career that pays a lot of money. Everyone trading wants to make a lot of money. You're competing against extremely smart people, and it's essentially a zero-sum game. So you're trying to take money from really, really smart people who are trying to take money from you. And when you start out, they're going to win. You're going to lose money. If you have the discipline and you're careful and you learn how to be objective and you try not to be greedy, and you use stops, you use profit targets, I believe it's something that you can do.
At the end of the day, that is when I learned to stop listening to others and do my own due diligence and figure out a style of investment that works for me. And that's the biggest thing I can give you from this takeaway. Is my biggest turning point after those 4 years was walking away, spending my time understanding what I did wrong. Specifically, when I figured out why I wasn't getting return. Because I was getting emotionally involved with my stocks. Meaning, when it dipped, it made my emotion take effect. When it rise, I'm happy. When it dropped, I was sad. And that's not how it should work. You shouldn't worry about the influx of it. So every time it went up, I would say, oh, it's going to keep going up. Every time it went down, it's going to recover and recover. It's going to recover. And it would be too late. I will lose more and more money every day. And that's the thing about it. You need to learn what is the cutoff, the minimum, and when are you going to sell. I didn't have those set points, so I had to learn that the hard way. So hopefully, my 4-year loss from the $50,000, $60,000 loss, you take it from this video and understand that you don't make the same mistake. Day trading isn't for everyone. Now I can day trade, and because I understand it better, but I'm not. What I learned from trading, the most successful people from trading was from long-term investment. And that's at the end of the day, the truth of the matter. I saw that majority of people were successful at it at that point. That's the route I took. And that's where I understand my mistake. And so let's go on to the next part. Uncovering and rebuilding my strategies for comeback. Let's talk about my comeback and what I did. And in this part, I'll cover the complete overhaul, the forgetting fundamental, and the micro wins. So in this part, make sure you like and subscribe to my video. I'm going to talk about this part, complete overhaul. I stopped day trading. I stopped buying stocks that made no sense for me to buy unless I knew what they did and understand the concept and the theory and the mission value of that company. I didn't buy it. So I discarded everything I thought I knew and started from scratch. And what did I learn? I learned long-term investment in reliable companies was the trick. Not day trading. Not what's the next stock. It's the reliable companies that you can trust. And that is the real thing.
You have to have the attitude that you're buying part of a business and not that you're buying something that wiggles around on a chart or that has resistance zones or 200-day moving averages or that you buy puts or calls on or anything like that. You're buying part of a business. And if you buy intelligently into a business, you're going to make money. You have to buy something that you're not going to get a quote on for 5 years, that they're going to close the stock exchange tomorrow for 5 years, and that you'll be happy owning it as a business.
So, I forgot the fundamental. It's the next part. The forgotten fundamental. Focus on risk management, discipline, and journey over hot tips. It's about the long term, not the last minute. So understand, the majority of investors are successful for long-term investment, not the short-term game. Yes, there are people that are successful from it, but at the end of the day, I wasn't, and I wasn't good at it because I had to sit at a computer all day to know that about it. At the end of the day, if you're not going to sit at a computer all day looking at stocks, you're not going to be successful as a day trader. You really can't have a full-time job when you do it. And I also learned to celebrate the micro wins. Celebrating the small success. Like, because it helped me rebuild my confidence. When I made my first $1,000 profit, and when I made the first $100,000, when I hit $200,000, those were all moments I took as a win. It might not be the biggest turning point for some people, but making money from stock market is a good thing for me. At least I'm not losing $50,000, $60,000 like I did in my first 4 years. Now, that's what I found how to rebuild. So, in hindsight, how I really found out the best for rebuild was long-term investing. Don't listen to Reddit. Don't listen to the hot takes, and learn big. And learn from your mistake. That's what I learned. And as long as I did that, and you don't make the same mistake of following people on Reddit, doing day trading for the next hot pick, you'd be fine. And option trading is not where I made money. Option trading, I don't know many people make money. I know more people that lose money from it. So, the biggest thing I learned was to come back, proving it is possible. Because at that point of my life, I thought it was never possible to earn money from stocks. And at the end of the day, even after my massive loss, I end up doing well. After I saw what Dave Ramsey did and showing this is the profit I make on my portfolio, this is the stocks, here's some, and it shows that I got some good returns on some of my stock. It doubled, tripled, sometimes even 10 times. So at the end of the day, I made some money. So that's the great news for me. I did better at it. And that's what I want you to understand. The mind shift. How to transform my emotional response to trades and loss. I had losses. I had bad trades. Everyone does. Don't let your mind go south just because you lost some money. And that's the biggest thing I can do. And in reality, where I stand today is sustainable and long-term approach is now employed. At the end of the day, that's what I learned. It's sustainability, long-term investment, and my approach is now for the long term. It's not for day trading. I know that it's almost impossible to become a millionaire in like 1 or 2 days from day trading. And that's what I thought I was going to do. That's why I kept trying to do it. I'd win some, lose some, win some, lose some. At the end of the day, it was a gambling game. And this is what I want you to understand. Don't treat it like gambling and learn from my mistakes. And lessons from the ashes, your roadmap to avoid my mistakes. So the red flag I'm telling you is you need to take a deep dive and look before you trade. You need to understand what company is, what's the good, what's the bad, and why are you investing in them. If you don't take a deep dive into them, you're going to end up like me, losing money. I was buying company that was investing in marijuana patches because I thought it was going to be the next big thing. Ended up losing like $8,000-$9,000 from that. And I thought they're going to make it big. That's why I thought THC was getting approved everywhere. I was like, oh, I'm going to do well. I ended up losing money on it. So I didn't do my due diligence. I just thought, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. So, but if I invested that in a blue chip company or a good company that had reasonable goals and not a startup, I would have done it way better. Now, you can make more money in penny stocks and $5 stocks, but at the end of the day, I didn't get a big of a return. The 3 immediate steps that anyone can take. So let's talk about this part. The immediate step you can take from your losing profile or your losing investment to a positive is stop trading. Is step 1. Step 2, understand what you're going to trade into next. And 3, pick a stock that you understand and know that's going to be here for the long-term investment and you want ownership in it. Because that is the big thing, is you want ownership in it. So what can you do? And that's actual step for you if you want to get a positive return. And step 1 is to stop trading right now. To stop and sit down and say, okay, I am losing money. Why am I losing money? Step 2 is look for a company that is financially stable, that has a reasonable growth, and has a good future. And step 3 is to understand that you want ownership in this company. And that's the 3 steps I tell everyone. If you can't do those 3 steps, you're probably going to keep losing money. At the end of the day, you want ownership of the company. And that's what I'm trying to teach you today. It's not for a quick turnaround time. It's for you to have ownership of part of that company. And at the end of the day, trading is a marathon, not a sprint. And it's a continually learning what's going to happen to the future. So like and subscribe to my video, and that's all I got for you. That's the story of me losing $50,000, $60,000 and what I learned from it.